She couldn't face going into Nana's empty home by herself, so she trekked up the driveway and followed the crushed shell path around the house. In contrast to the flat, neat rectangle of tree-shaded lawn in the front yard, the sandy backyard was a wild composition of beach grass and beach plum, bayberry and bearberry, sea lavender and seaside goldenrod. In the right-hand corner, an ever-spreading thicket of wild roses filled the air with its sweet fragrance. Jill surveyed it all, but she didn't stop walking until she'd reached the upper platform of the wooden staircase leading down a steep dune to a private beach where the water nearly lapped the dunes at high tide and receded at least a quarter mile at low. Right now, it was coming in. The sweep of royal blue water was crinkled by a gentle breeze and fringed in white along its edges. Some 10 yards to the south, a dense patch of seagrass swayed with the nearly imperceptible motion of the tide, but the surface was otherwise unbroken from here to the horizon and beyond. "I'm back," she whispered to the seascape, a tradition she'd practiced ever since she was a young girl. "I've really missed you." It felt like forever since she and her sisters had returned to Nana's place, even though it had only been 3 years. Prior to this lapse, they'd always spent at least 2 weeks together there every summer. Often they stayed longer, depending on their individual schedules. But 3 years ago, Nana had fallen and broken her hip. Afterward, she'd had to move out of her off-island duplex so she could move into an assisted living facility. It was so costly, she'd had to lease out her summer place on Seabreeze Lane to year-round tenants. Even then, she'd barely been able to cover her expenses, but she was more concerned that her granddaughters had to cancel their annual vacation to the island. "I feel terrible about this," she'd cried. "You girls love getting together at my place in the summer, and so do your families. And I loved having all of you there with me." Jill's heart cracked a little at the memory of her elderly relative, only thinking of her family, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, even when she'd gone through so much pain and upheaval. Jill, at 39, was single. Or, as some people annoyingly put it, she was still single, as if she needed a reminder that she was behind schedule. 41-year-old Brooke and 43-year-old Rachel were both married with teenage children, and their husbands and kids enjoyed going to Hope Haven as much as Rachel and Brooke did. But the 3 women insisted the most important priority was that their grandmother's healthcare needs were being met. "Renting out your home year-round is a necessity, Nana. There's nothing to feel bad about on our account," Rachel had told her during one of their 4-way video chats. Rachel's right. "We love vacationing together at Seabreeze Lane, and we'll miss going there, but we want you to do whatever it takes to recover," Jill had agreed, "and we'll still all come to visit you in Worcester." "It's only for a year or 2. Once your health is improved, and you're caught up financially, we'll have a big celebration on Dune Island with you, Nana." Brooke's sense of optimism had always bordered on denial, but Rachel and Jill had suspected their grandmother wouldn't be returning to her summer home again. Sadly, they'd been right. Nana never did regain enough mobility and strength to live independently again. In March, she died of congestive heart failure, leaving her granddaughters grief-stricken and without any surviving blood relatives except each other and the children. Shortly after her burial service, Nana's attorney had informed the 3 sisters that they'd inherited their grandmother's summer estate, just as she told them they would. "Rose knew that her time had come," he'd said candidly. "She was aware that her current tenants are preparing to move out in mid-June. It was her final wish that after they leave, the 3 of you spend 2 weeks together on Dune Island while you come to a unanimous decision about what to do with the house next."